And live we go. Hello there, people from YouTube. We took our time here today before going live to talk a little bit about the holidays, about soccer, and now we're going to start a conversation here on backpacking. If you're watching us on YouTube and you have no idea what we do here, we are here to talk, right, Wanda? Yeah, we're here to talk. And so if you're watching us right now, these people who are here, they already know. So I'm just going to remember, here on Talk and Talk, we're here to talk. We're here to have an immersion, discuss a topic, share stories, experiences, learn from each other. And the rules we follow here are pretty simple. Rule number one is, this is not a class. Right now, this here is an immersion. So not here to teach you anything. Doesn't mean that you're not going to learn. You can learn a lot in here. Rule number two is, I'm not going to correct you. Gabriel's not going to correct you. Luis not going to correct you. Wanda's not going to correct you. Nobody's going to correct you nor judge you here. We're here to learn by seeing how each other speak, by correcting ourselves and make our mistakes, because that's something necessary in our learning journey. And rule number three is, we're going to be respectful to one another. I don't care if Wanda supports Corinthians, Luis supports Flamengo, Gabriel supports Sport. We are all here to be respectful to one another, despite our differences in opinion and culture and everything. And these are the three rules. I have a small little rule I invented, and I'm trying to make it official, but there's a lot of bureaucracy. No, just kidding. But what is the rule number 4, Wanda? You know it.
Enjoy it.
To enjoy it. If you're doing TNT and not having fun, you're doing this thing wrong. Come on. Okay. So here, the questions are already in the chat, and we are going to start with question number 1. Wanda, have you ever been backpacking?
Yeah, it's a great time. Backpacking is so good. You make many friends around the world, and is a good time. And I think all the people need to do this because it's so interesting, this experience.
Right, that's pretty cool. I've never been backpacking, but that's something I've always wanted to do. Must be really a great experience. We're gonna get to know more about your experience backpacking with the other questions. But right now, I want to ask Gabriel, have you ever been backpacking?
No, unfortunately not. I would like when I was at the college, but I had a band group, many tasks to do, and don't know. I had this idea, maybe when I go to retire, but in my teenager start of adult life, I left this idea offside.
All right, pretty cool. Sometimes there are stuff we kind of want to do, but then we gotta choose a little. I forgot the name. We gotta prioritize some stuff, right?
What? I don't understand what you said.
I I didn't put my idea quite well, but when you were younger, you wanted to do it, but you kind of left it, for another time, because sometimes we have to prioritize. We choose to do other stuff. So
yes.
And what about you? Have you ever been backpacking?
Well, I've never been on, and in the past I planned it, but in fact I've never realized this, and I left this idea. now I'm working. I have a remote work, and when I start fully remote in this fully remote job, I started to plan. I plan it again. Oh, I will travel for this place. I will travel for that, but I've never realized this in fact as a to find new places. All right, to really do this, I'm backpacking. I traveled a little bit, but just small travels, not exactly a backpacking.
All right, cool.
Yes, maybe
That's it.
one day I will plan again, and I hope that one day I realize, but maybe, just maybe.
All right. So the only person that's ever backpacked in here is Vanda. So I suggest we do a backpacking group in here because all of us went, and she's gonna guide us. All right, very cool. Now, for question number 2, there's this question, Gabriel. What do you think are the advantages of backpacking?
I think it travel with just a pack bag. It's more easy. It's more cheap, and have a lot of stuff to bring with you. It's a problem. It has a cost, and backpacking normally it's not cheaper. It's just take the time, and you can take a ride with someone, not to pay for free or pay just a little bit, uh, uh, or take a bus or a train for travel 12 hours for €5, something like that. But I think you can sleep in someone house. The services like couch surf. One time it's not a backpack, but I sleep in a house of a woman. I travel to another city to watch a show, and I don't like I don't want to pay my hotel, and I search alternatives. I find like couch surf. I sleeping for free. It's very good, and but for after 30, after 35, 40, I think it's backpack. It's not more adequate for my profile. When I go to travel, I have a minimal required, not the style in the sleeping in the ground or sleeping in the tent, uma barraca. It's the this time it's space for me. It's I need a bed, hot water, electricity, internet. It's just a gourmet backpack after 40.
I can backpack, but I do want a hotel room at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah, no, it's not backpack. If I think it's just for 25 years max. After that, our needs change.
yeah, you got priorities, bro. Like the sightseeing, getting to know a lot of places. When you put it on the balance with a nice bed, a warm shower, and a cool
Yeah.
meal, the scales change with age, I guess. So, yeah. What do you say, Liz? What for you are the advantages of backpacking?
Well, I agree with Gabriel. I think that could be more cheap if you really know how to use, how to do a backpack. All right. And I don't know if I get a roof backpack. I don't know if I can say like this, a backpack, a roof backpack, and you go to the streets, travel with no money. I don't know, because sometimes I want uh, some things that I have in my home, and that's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Especially if you're going to another country, I think like it's not only backpacking, but you're in a different culture, a different place. Sometimes you're going to places where, it's kind of weird, and I guess you must really feel home, really miss home after a while.
Yes.
One thing, go ahead.
Sometimes when I start a fully remote job, I was planning to visit some places in Minas Gerais state, but not exactly as a backpack, but to go to some cities that I want to visit and pass there sometimes, some weeks, maybe. All right, not exactly traveling city by city. For example, where the Rio São Francisco born, it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful city. I would like to pass there some weeks to visit this kind of place, but I've never did this. This is not exactly a backpacking, I think, but it's more not so hard as a backpack, but could be good. But I've never realized these two.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And now about Wanda, because she's already backpacked before, so she can say with a little bit more authority, what are the advantages of backpacking?
I think is the connection with other people. It's so interesting because when you stay in a hotel, you need to take your breakfast alone. You not integrate with another hostage guest. But in a hostel, it's totally different because you have a big table and you buy something and another kind of people buy another one and we share each other. It's so good. It's a great experience. In a backpack, I know two girls, Japanese girls. They bought some food to make dinner, and I bought something to make a dessert. And you share our food, and I try a really Japanese food for cooking for Japanese people, and they try a dessert from Brazil, cooking by myself. It's totally different, a kind of trip. A trip backpacking is, and if you don't like all the time backpacking, you can mix your trip. Backpacking for a week and go to the hotel to take a good shower and a good bed. I think for me is connection.
Yes, I think for me, the most interesting part about going backpacking would be this thing, because like with what Gabriel said, I think when you're younger, you value a lot more the experience, being able to go to a lot of places at once and get to know a lot of different cultures, different places, talk to different people, connect, you know. And then when maybe you start getting older and you value more comfort, then you start, maybe stay in a place for a longer period, or, more privacy. It also depends a lot on the personality of the person. It's not everybody that grows old and wants that. I know a lot of people that it's 40, 50 and still like sleeping on a tent and going wild and going to parties. So I think it really depends on the kind of person. But I do think this is the most interesting part. I've always wanted, and I still want, to spend some while in a hostel, talking to people,
Yeah,
connecting, living together. That
it's
must be so
totally
cool.
different than hotel. It's really interesting hostel. And you saw uh, before you go in the hostel, you saw about the hostel, the host in the hostel. They they um, they do a trip for the guests. It's so interesting. Parties for the guests. It's it's a good experience.
That's really cool. I want to go to a hostel once. We had an event on September in Minas, and Philip and I, we went there for the event. There was a hostel nearby the event, and I wanted to stay there, but Philip thought it was better not, because we were taking a lot of stuff, especially like professional stuff, camera and notebooks and this kind of stuff. And the hostel, we didn't have like places to live it, so it would be like in public spaces. Then he was kind of afraid and also want a little bit of privacy. But I want so much to sleep in a hostel. It's really cool. All righty. Question number 3, Mr. Lewis. Do you think backpacking is better than taking a package holiday? Do you think it's better to backpack, go to a lot of places? Or do you think it's better to buy a 3,000 package to spend 20 days in Salvador? Your microphone is off, buddy.
Oh, I were muted. I was talking. Sorry, but I think backpacking could be better. I don't know exactly. I don't. I don't know if I would like to pass 20 days in Salvador. Maybe I would like to pass 20 days in some city
Yeah,
that
just as
I
an
have in my
example, but it can
list.
be any place.
Yes. Well, I don't know. For me, it's a hard question, but I think that I would like to pass 20 days in a city that I would like then. And considering my condition today, my context of work, of as a worker, I wouldn't like to backpack exactly nowadays. Maybe one day I will do this, but nowadays I wouldn't like. I prefer to pass 20 days in some place that, or even less than 20 days, in some place that I have in my list, for example.
All right, that's pretty cool. What about you, Wanda? Do you think backpacking is better than taking a package holiday?
Depends. Depends of my mood, depends of the trip. I all the kinds of trip is good. Backpacking is so good for connections and stay in a place for a few days. It's good too. I think it depends of the mood of the person to stay tripping with you.
Yes, pretty cool. What do you say, Gabriel? Do you agree with the guys? Do you think one is better than the other?
I would say never. To be polemic, never a backpack it's better than a package. But it depends. Not to to search the fight. It depends. It depends of person. It depends of age of person. The moment of your life. Maybe you has you are 50 years, but you very simple with minimal requires, and you could go to a backpack. But for me, it's never. It's personal. My profile, it's a backpack space. Backpacks is for teenagers, 15 years to 20 years. But it depends. It depends for the people. Watch the people search get about of this experience. Just to travel, know the cities, the people, meet the people. It's very good. But for me, it's package travel package. It's the best. Not necessarily travel package. Normally in my travels, I made all things separated. I rent the car. I rent a hostel, a room in a hostel or Airbnb. No, not a hostel. Hotel. And hostel, it's passage too. The rooms with 15 beds, it's great. I rent I watch internet to buy tickets for some attractions in the city, but it's just myself. I talk with my wife what we want to make in this travel in this city. We organize ourselves in the. But package, it's a good. Maybe sometimes there is very special prices, promotions. It's a good opportunity too.
All righty. Yeah, you're this part of planning the trip. What are we going to do? Are we gonna go to the park? This is pretty cool. But I feel a little lazy about doing that. I rather going with the flow. So, I am in Rio. What will I do? What do I have to do here? Do I want to, visit the park? Do I want to go to the Christ the Redeemer? I am not a very good planner.
Yeah, another thing, it's important. Travel packages, it's like very limited, because they choose the options. You must follow them. You are not free to choose your attractions. It's good. You don't need a plan. This thing, but if you pay for that, if you don't follow then you just alone. It's you pay a service for nothing. And there are the two sides. Not need to plan, but it's like very delimited. Yeah, we go their place and make this activity, and
You haven't got much room to do anything else sometimes, right?
Yes, you're not free to change the plans, or like like Rio de Janeiro. If you take a ticket bus to walk in the city, to go to the Christ, if it's a cloudy day, you lost your ticket. You cannot change your plans. When I was in Rio, I up to Christ for myself and my friends, but it's not very lucky, because there was many clouds. The view, it's not very good. And when I travel, the weather is not good. We and my family, we go to the shopping mall, or a museum, or a park for children, to make indoor activities. We free about winter. If winter is very good, we go to outdoor.
Yeah, it really some stuff depends on the weather. But I
Yeah.
guess like on this comparison between package holidays, backpacking, it really depends the kind of thing traveling you want to do. Like you guys said, I agree that it depends on how you're feeling, what you want to do. Do you guys know when you go to a travel, you say, no, I have a holiday, I'm gonna spend 2 weeks doing something. You go, you travel, you do a lot of activities, and you come back, you're more tired than when you left for the holiday. You come back exhausted, right? Sometimes. So I think the kind of trip you're going to do, it really depends. Do you want to rest? Do you want to relax, come back relaxed and ready to, start a new cycle at work or something? Do you want to do activities and see the most as is possible in a place, in spite of you're going to be tired or not? I think it really changes the way you're going to do stuff, you're going to travel, what you're going to do on a trip. I think it really changes that. And then I'm going to skip a few questions in here. Why? Because I want to ask a nice question here for you guys. Wanda, how do you think backpacking around the world would change a person? This is question number 8. What do you think? How do you think backpacking change a person? Backpacking around the world, in your countries, places.
It's a time for changement. I think backpacking changed forever, because here in Brazil, for example, all the time I heard here in Brazil, only here in Brazil has something bad, all the time bad. And when you go backpacking and talk with other kinds of people in other kinds of countries, we know we are in Brazil the best of the world. Here is so good. It's so interesting, our life, our jeito, a kind of life. And I think the connection of other person, it's forever. You have a little changement or a big changement, your mind open, you stay in a connection with the world. It's not for only your family or your bubble. And backpacking is for open your mind and situate you like a citizen for all the world.
Yeah, I really love this term.
But stay in Brazil and looking for our country, like, oh my gosh, so beautiful country, many waters, many things beautiful, the people, warm people. Yeah, it's forever.
Yeah, I love this term, being a citizen of the world, like you stop seeing yourself as a citizen of São Paulo, as a citizen of Criciúma, as a citizen of Brazil. You start seeing yourself as a person who makes part of a much bigger thing. We're now 8 billion people, as a society with 8 billion people, and every interaction you have out there is a piece of other cultures, other worldviews, other realities you bring to yourself. I think this experience must be so cool. Nice. Do you consider yourself now a citizen of the world?
Yeah, of course. But I love my country.
Yeah.
And I don't see like, oh, only here in Brazil do you have some bad things. No, I don't like this kind of discuss.
Perfect. Amazing. Now I'm curious, Gabriel, you are a Brazilian, you live in Canada now. Do you consider yourself a Brazilian citizen, a Canada citizen, a world citizen? What do you consider yourself?
I'm considered Brazilian and Canadian citizen too. But when one thing happens when you immigrate, it's you lost your home for always. Your there is no place you are feeling complete, because here in Canada it's very good, but there are some things that I miss for me. There, these things are in Brazil. When I stay in Brazil, I'm good for other reasons, but the things that that are here in Canada missing for me in Brazil, and I conclude I have a conclusion. I don't I don't a place to call for my home. Where I will complete. For example, I have plans to change another province. And I know after some years I would like change another, maybe for United States, Florida. It's my loved states, and or some place, because it's another history. But the cost of life here, it's very, 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 very expensive, and the services like restaurant or aesthetic services or cleaning services, there is not the same thing in Brazil.
They're expensive.
Yes, I would like earn in dollars, but spend my life in reais or pesos. Live in a country with it's not very bad like Venezuela, but the cost of life it's minimal in comparison to Canada or United States. And one time immigrant, you will be immigrant just the end of your life. For me, and I heard the same thing for another Brazilians. Whatever your place you find some always you miss something or someone. There is not, because when you immigrate, you lost your references, and for me it's 80 years here, and I have something here, but when in Brazil I miss Canada.
Yeah. So for you, like going around the world has showed you that like there's a lot outside, like, and when you get to know new stuff, you also learn the stuff you had before, and then you miss it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. In my case,
Of
it's a economic quality of life immigration, but independently of that, it's idea I had after immigrate. I think it's the word. It's very big to spend your life in just one place.
all right.
Independently, if you want immigrate or no, for economic reasons or no, I think it's when I discover other countries, other cultures, it's very powerful for our life.
Amazing. And what do you say, Luis? What do you think
Well,
backpacking, going around the world, can change a person? How do you think it can change a person? And do you consider yourself a citizen of the world?
no, I don't consider myself as a citizen of the world. I just consider myself as a citizen from Martin Campos and from Divinópolis. But I agree with Wanda that I really don't know how backpack can change our mind, but I think that could be a big change. I don't know exactly, and I agree with Wanda. And I would like to ask Gabriel one question: is there any kind of public health service there in Canada where you are living now? Is there
Yes,
any kind of
in Canada, it's just a public health service. Here,
oh,
it's like a Soviet minds. There is no private health service in Canada, sadly, and it's not very good. It's there are some problems. You can wait 12, 20 hours in a urgency, but for example, for the born of my daughter, the service was amazing. It's very, very good. But another case is if you have a painkiller or a pain in your arm, not very complicated. You go away, wait a lot of time, and that's just the Canada has a senior population growing up. It's a problem too.
oh, okay, thank you.
All
That's
right.
it. It's just a curiosity, not don't have
Yeah,
exactly. It's
interesting.
not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Sorry.
yeah. Before immigrate, I think it's perfect, but here I conclude there is no perfect place. Even Switzerland, it's not perfect. There, uh, anyway, uh, always there is bad points, and uh, but the health is public, but the income tax is very high.
Thank you for the answer. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Yeah.
I was, and we talked about it actually on Friday. Charles is living in Canada now as well. He was in the immersion, and we were going to talk about something, and we ended up talking about living in Canada and versus living in Brazil, the difference of living in different countries. And it's really interesting because then I share a little bit of both your points of views. Like, I understand when Gabriel says that when you go to another place and when you expect, it's like when you travel, it's just, seeing a place and, getting to know its culture and everything. When you move to a different country to have your life in there, I think is a very changing experience, because if you abandon your life in here, you start a new life in there, but you're also an immigrant. And then you start seeing stuff you wanted, but you discover they're not the same things you wanted. And then things you liked back there that you left behind and you might not get it back. But I also like the way of seeing, like, when I leave a place to live in another place, if I don't belong to any of these places anymore, I'd like to see myself as belonging to all the places at once, as a
Yeah,
citizen
yeah.
of the world, like.
Yeah. It's the same.
And then I think it's really freeing. It frees you, because then you have the
Yeah.
choice. Like, now I know that no place is perfect. I know that everywhere I go, I'm going to get something good, but I'm also going to get something bad. And I'm going to leave the bad things from my old place, but also leave the good things from my old place, so that I start choosing, like, where do I feel the most comfortable? What is the place that the advantages will outweigh the bad things and that I want to live, And then you're free. If you want to live in the Seychelles, you live in the Seychelles. If you want to live on the USA, you try living on the USA. If you want to live in Brazil, you live in Brazil. But then I think it's cool because you're aware of everything you're missing, but also everything you get from being in a place. So I think this is really cool.
Yeah, nothing is perfect.
At the end of the day, nowhere is perfect. Yeah. And that's
Even
where
Switzerland.
what?
I even Switzerland, Sweden, not just perfect.
Yes. But that's when the things that matter come, you know. Is it and you start paying more and you start like uh the things that are worth your time, they matter more, you know, like what makes me stay in a place? Is it my family? Is it the things I can get from there? Is it my work? Is it the connections, my friendships, this kind of stuff, you know? I think that's when you really start focusing on what matters. And then that's why you want to be in a place, I guess. I don't know. All right, you guys.
Time flies.
Yes. Just the last question here to because we love some what is the name? Some controversial things. Question number 10 asks, do you think backpackers are similar to hippies? Luis, do you think the backpackers and hippies are the same?
I think that a hippie could be a backpacker and a backpacker could be a hippie, but they are not strictly the same, all right? They can have common and from both sides, but not exactly. There is no obligation relation between these two. I think one could be other, and for both sides, but a hippie could be a backpacker.
Yes, but not
And a
every backpacker is a
backpacker,
hippie.
yes, and a backpacker could be a hippie.
Imagine you're like, I
But
want to go backpacking. Then when you get to the airport, they're like, okay, you're gonna go backpacking. So you gotta leave everything. You gotta leave your cell phone. You gotta, you know, wear big shirt, big clothes, and then you gotta connect to the nature. You know?
all right, I think that the person who do this needs to be so much evolution, and I don't know exactly the word, but needs a big evolution to let all the things.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. It's
That's
another
it.
state of mind. I think it's pretty interesting as well.
Yes.
What do you say, Gabriel? Hippies and backpackers, are they similar? Are they the same?
I think that this is just history about backpackers. It's started with your hips in 60 years, but nowadays it's no, it's another times. I maybe I think nowadays we have just a few, very few hippies. It's other times. It's we I don't know. I think it's we have some things in common, but it's not the exactly the same thing.
All right. And for you, Wanda, hippies and backpackers, are they the
Yeah,
same?
I agree totally with Luis. Could be the same and could be not the same. And it's different. You can do a backpacking for a while and go back to your life. And hippie is for a philosophy of life. It's a little bit different.
Yeah. But then I have a more important question. You backpacked before, sir. Are you a hippie? No, just kidding.
No. Unfortunately, I don't have had this experience because I think all the experience is interesting for us. No, I'm not hippie.
Oh, that's a shame. All right, guys. Look, thank you all for coming. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation here today. I'm gonna be leaving in the chat the link for you guys to leave a feedback. Okay. This feedback is important to us because we know if you guys are enjoying and how we can improve our immersions, our classes, everything here on TNT. So if you can say if you liked, if you didn't like, what was good, what was bad, give us suggestions, whatever you want here. So if you can please click the link before leaving. Thank you. Have an amazing day. Remember to drink lots of water. And if you want to see my not so beautiful face again, I'm back with another immersion today at 1. Okay.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
time. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a good